You're listening to the AFTERBUZZ TV Network, now the largest new media platform on the web, and your #1 source for after-show entertainment.
Very good, Dean Johnson.
From the AFTERBUZZ Studios in Los Angeles, California, presented by Miriam Menounos and Bing.com, and streaming live thanks to Akamai Technologies, this is AFTERBUZZ TV's Eastbound and Down After Show. We'll break down tonight's episode and get you all the latest news and gossip. If you'd like to buzz in on tonight's show, you can buzz us at 424-256-1729. That's 424-256-1729. And now, another post-game wrap-up show for your favorite TV show. It's AFTERBUZZ TV's Eastbound and Down After Show.
What's up, Powers Nation? Hey guys, everyone likes to Bing. Well, actually, Bing is for doing, and we are doing another after show for AFTERBUZZ TV. This is Eastbound and Down, Season 3, Episode 6, Chapter 19. I'm JC, as always, and joined by my very own April and Vita. I am a lucky man. Oh, yes. Miss Kellie O. Give it up for Kellie O. A little round of applause.
Hi.
Yes. And no Kenny Power Sandwich would be complete without his very own Vita, Miss Miriam Gonzalez. Wow. Okay, tonight we've got Mama's House, Family Reunion, Apology, and a little bit of Kenny Powers Hall of Fame. But first, let's start with a recap.
Okay.
Miriam.
So last week we in chapter 18.
Chapter 18, yeah.
Wait, today's chapter 18?
No,
Today's
19. Today's 19.
It's hard because it's like season 3, episode 6, chapter 19. Like
Verse 3, yes. It's like the Bible.
Thank you, Jesus. All right. Actually, thank you, God, for Kenny Powers, because we wouldn't be here today without that. Anyhow, last week Kenny visits his girlfriend Andrea's dorm and apologizes to Shane's ex-girlfriend, and it's like, look, I'm sorry, I freaked you out with the whole twin thing, and then he proceeds to say to Andrea, I think it's time for you to meet my son, and I need, almost as imposing, you're the new mother figure. So, she awkwardly holds the baby. He's all excited. He's wearing his T-shirt that says, I rented this hooker.
I want that shirt
It's so funny. It's so funny. Fast forward, Kenny goes and he's ready to take his career back. He sits down at the lunch table with the Mermans, completely uninvited, and invites them to his 4th of July party. They proceed to tell him that now DJ Blu-ray, a.k.a. Ivan, his rival, is having a party as well on the 4th of July. And so they kind of go on this little face-off on whose party is going to be better. So what winds up happening is now Kenny's trying to plan this party. He's got Stevie on it. He's got a party planner. Kenny goes home to articulate all this stuff, and he finds his father and his stepbrother in his driveway. Now, I have a question. Does first we keep calling him Papa Powers. I learned his name today.
Finally, yes.
I learned his actual name. So his father, if you know what his name is, tweet us or call us.
Yes, that's right. Make sure to give us a call at 424-256-1729. And while I'm at it, actually, if you're not watching us live, then you're out. But if not, make sure to listen to us on iTunes. And we're actually even on YouTube if you don't see us tonight live.
Yeah.
So there's many ways for you to catch up with Papa Powers, Kenny Powers, Mama Powers, and all the powers.
Absolutely. And then with Stevie, of course, as well. So Stevie last week also goes, and he's feeling very guilty over cheating on, that was cute. He feels guilty over cheating on Maria. Maria leaves him. Stevie's devastated. Now he's like Kojak, no eyebrows, no hair. And he's useless to Kenny Powers. Absolutely useless. Can't babysit Toby. Can't, help him plan his party. Just not his role dog. So Kenny goes and asks, lowers himself and asks his dad to watch the baby while he goes to his 4th of July party. Now, Kenny enters into his 4th of July party and to find, as you called it last week, the extras from Cocoon dancing, Casper in the corner in the VIP getting a BJ,
yeah.
and the band just kind of standing around. He's like, it's the 4th of July. So he's sitting in the corner. He's really upset. His party is a washout. trash. It's completely, practically empty. He's doing nitrous in the corner. He decides to try and get his power back. So what does he do? He goes to the other party, finds that it is jam-packed, and it is not only jam-packed, but his girlfriend Andrea is there at the party. He breaks up with her on stage and just really is devastated. He winds up making a fool of himself, trying to get everyone to rally and go to his party, and literally falls on his face. In his attempt at revenge, he's just like, forget it. I'm done. He pulls out Roman candles and firecrackers, and literally it's the 4th of July in this club. Can we say dangerous? Danger. So then he winds up going home. He's very depressed, and he goes and he has a heart-to-heart with his dad, which in a minute we'll get to. Do you know his name? His father suggests to him, you know what, Kenny, I think you should go and reach out to your mother. Of course, we all know there's an ulterior motive with that, but I think you should go out, reclaim your career, and let your mama raise the baby. And that's where we left off last week, which started us this week with some yummy stuff.
That was a hell of a recap. Good Lord. If you guys didn't know what's going on, well, now you do. Thank you. So let us open up with this episode. And we open up, of course, in the bowling alley with Mama Powers, played by the ridiculously funny Lily Tomlin.
I just love her.
I love that. I'm absolutely ecstatic over that casting choice. I think it's great.
And in a bit of fantastic direction last week when they were priming us to see who Kenny's mom was. They were scanning the bowling alley, coming up to, is it this lady? No. Is it this one? No. I was dying to know, and when they revealed her, it was
awesome. It was amazing.
And she hit it to a T. I totally think Kenny's a mama's boy.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
Total mama's boy.
Absolutely.
I mean, just he likes to portray this image of I am still fabulous, even to his mother, and she believes it still. Like, you see her in the bowling alley, and she's like, I'm sorry, I have a life outside of here. My very famous son is coming back with his baby. And that's my priority right now. And the way he greets, he like sets up the whole like, I'm standing in front of Mama's house, like, we're here, my whole team of idiots.
It's all about presentation.
He's literally like, ta-da, with the baby.
That's right. It hasn't changed.
Is he a proud papa or what?
I think he absolutely is.
Wow, I was still thinking like a guy. I'm like, he's always putting on a show.
He's putting on a show, but he's slowly showing that, like, this is my child, like Simba.
Wow, you guys are showing the depth that Kenny Powers has.
He has.
He does, and we made predictions last week about what we thought was going to happen, and I remember I said that I didn't think he was going to be able to go through with just ditching the kid. And, because he tries and tries and tries and just can't seem to let go. And in this episode, you really see him struggle with it. And it's right. Really great character development, with the writing and everything, because you see it in his face. He's so great at what he does. He just really is, because even being, Kenny effing Powers, you see that emotion in his face when he's struggling with that, when he's sitting in the room with his mom and, she's like, what did I tell you about smoking weed in my house? He's like,
you better share.
And, and she's praising him for, I can't believe you're such a good dad. I don't know where you got that from, because it sure wasn't from your dad. And you start to see that kind of sink into him, and what he originally came to tell her, he couldn't even say it.
Right. It was such a setup. Mm-hmm. And you can see where Kenny got his mom's, like, I guess, chutzpah or chutzpah?
The chutzpah.
The chutzpah when... in the beginning scene where she pops her competition in the face.
Oh my God.
And it just says, soak it up, tomato face.
And they pan to the woman who literally looks like a tomato face. Her
she
nose
just blasted her in the freaking face.
It's so funny because you start to see who is Kenny more like. Right. You get to see these characters and how they are and how it kind of Kenny comes together. And so when she punched her in the face, it was just like,
It's an homage. There were a lot of homages in this episode. That punch was reminiscent to episode 1. Yeah. Hi, you banged my sister, remember? Hey, Kenny Powers, remember you banged my sister? It's Dwight. And then he turns around, bam! And that's how the open of the first season, and that's the open of tonight. So you see that, and actually it's brilliant if you think about it, because you were setting it up that Kenny's more like the mom since he spent most of his life with his mom.
Yeah.
So he's got a lot of his mom in
Oh,
him.
of course. I mean, the first thing they do, she's like, "I need to come with me. I need to show you my new trophies." She opens up the cases of the trophies, and it's like pill popper heaven.
They're like, it's they're trading pills.
Yeah.
It's like the one for you, one for me, two for you, one for me.
There was no shame.
no. They're like,
well,
I have
the
muscle
trophy
relaxers.
room within itself. Remember, he had his own trophy room
Right.
that they turned into Toby's room. But even on the wall, she had all of his press clippings and everything. I think my favorite was Powers saves.
I
The,
fe-
The one that looks like
picture that
Jesus?
looks like Kenny Powers is Jesus in the background.
No, what was it? Or the line, well, the Xanny and Percocet's like heroin. And he's telling his mom that. And I'm like,
And she's
whoa.
like, "Why didn't you tell me that before?" She's like, "Oh, that is good. Wait, let me try this one." And he's like, "Oh, do you feel it? See, it's good."
And,
So, all right. So after they go and do this whole pill popping thing, and she, now Papa Powers, which do you know his name?
I want to guess.
The actual
Oh,
name.
the full name? Oh, all I got is Edward.
Close.
Okay.
I mean,
Okay,
they're
is it like
calling him.
interpreting-
No, it's actually it made me wonder. I'm like, is he Mexican too? He went to Mexico to escape because his name is Eduardo.
Oh, wow. Bringing the knowledge. There we go.
I'm
That is
like-
deep.
I was like, wait a second. Why did he go to Mexico, Eduardo? Maybe there's family there.
Okay.
Many questions unanswered. But she, Eddie now tries to say, well, you know what? I'm gonna go and he tries to make nice with her.
With Lily Tomlin's character.
Yeah.
With Kenny's mom.
He does, and he's like, I'm gonna go sleep out. He has his they go and they play Parcheesi. No,
Is
was
that
it
what it-
Parcheesi?
no,
No,
it was
Pictionary.
We were all, what are
Yeah,
they playing?
yeah.
I
'Cause
wasn't
he
sure. If
couldn't-
I was like, they're not so bright for cranium.
Yeah, no. No, but you know what? Here's one thing with Eddie and Kenny's mom. When Eddie, he made his presentation to the mom, it was exactly like Kenny when he saw April for the first time after they hadn't seen each other for like 10 years in
Yeah.
episode 1.
Yes.
Once again, and they're tying everything together.
And it's funny, like when he's talking to his dad, and he's like, "Knock, knock. Who's there? We are." And then they're like, they get all positioned up, and it's like, his dad did what he did with April, because remember he was like,
Yeah.
"April," and then his dad is like behind the van.
With a piece of paper. What did he say? He just rips the paper and he's like, I'm back, kind of a thing.
I'm just messing.
I love how like after they have this whole thing, she welcomes them into the home and then they all go bowling. Once they arrive to the house, they all go
Right,
bowling.
that's right, yeah.
And they
Yeah.
have like this whole family adventure. That's like the day of the Powers. Like
Oh my God.
they go bowling and Mama's doing great. They're polishing Stevie's head with a cloth. Did you notice the doll on the table?
Yes,
I
is
did.
it?
the little negrita.
Yeah, Casper's little negrita was on the table next to the Tecate.
That's what I was too busy looking at Stevie drinking the Tecate because of Maria. Of
Yeah,
course, so.
yeah. But Casper was wearing a little like purse around his neck with the little doll sticking out. Did you not notice?
I get distracted by all the hair on him, all the fur on the shoulders.
What was it that he said? He goes, when I get excited, I feel blood go to my
To my junk.
my winky or
to
whatever.
my wiener. I feel blood go to my wiener.
I was
He's
like,
jumping up and down.
He's doing like this. If you guys aren't seeing this visual, I'm reenacting Casper. So please don't.
no, please do watch us.
Okay, yeah, there we go. No, but I was surprised they didn't really address Maria or anything that was going on there. Speaking of Stevie and Maria.
Well, they did lightly.
A
Papa
little.
Powers was like, you know what? She left you, suck up your sack, and let's keep on moving. And then, when he meets, when they go into Lily Tomlin's house, into Mama Power's house, and he's talking to her roommate, which I'm like, is that her lover or a sister?
See, I was thinking the same
No,
thing.
they're bumping donuts.
I was
They-
thinking
they
the
are
same
bumping-
thing. I was thinking the same thing. Her assistant.
Did you just
Her
say
assistant.
bumping donuts?
They're bumping donuts.
Oh my god.
Oh gosh.
I'm just saying it.
Stop it
No,
right now.
actually, it's more like what Casper said, rubbing fur.
That is a quote because we get in trouble sometimes, but these are quotes from the show.
Well, going back to Stevie, you remember when they first got there, he threw up in the yard.
Yeah.
And he's like, Maria, where are you?
Oh my God.
It's really like,
Oh yeah, it was wrong.
yeah, it's really making him physically sick.
Yeah.
All this going on with him.
Right.
And that's when,
He goes into the
Eddie
house
is
and he
like-
says to the roommate, he's like, "Yeah, my wife left me because I put my sperm into another woman. I was like, okay.
And she's like, I'm sorry.
You know, Stevie said something, I don't know if you guys caught. He said that he's going to go ahead and kill himself.
No, he said, why don't I just?
Okay,
yeah,
thank you.
because
So you did.
So yeah, because Kenny was telling him, you know, why you have Toby? Go give him to my mom. You're hogging up his time, you know? He's like, you're good. Basically, you're good for nothing. He's like, well, why don't I just go kill myself then?
And there are rumors around the internet saying that Stevie is going to kill himself.
No.
I've been reading that for weeks, actually. But I also read the fact that they said that Stevie had spiked Shane and Kenny's cocaine at the end when Shane died.
Yeah.
Which couldn't have been true, or else he would have hurt Kenny, and Kenny's
Right.
his god. So
It's all speculation.
it's all speculation. That's all we can do here. We know no spoilers, but we can speculate just like the fans. So
All right, so we're back in the bowling alley with you know, Stevie and Baby and Toby and now Casper and Kenny are playing pool. And as they're playing pool, it's like you see the dynamic of, like, I love how Casper goes and he explains the power swagger and is
Hell yeah.
convinced that he has this whole, like, je ne sais quoi about him as well. And he really doesn't.
je ne sais what? I'm kidding. You teach me.
You
what is
like
it?
my French?
Is that what I don't know.
I'll show you my French later.
Whoa! AfterBuzz exclusive. Phil, I hope you caught that.
Sperm is a terrible thing to waste.
So anyhow,
baby.
so, you know, they start getting into this whole thing where Kenny, you know, Kenny's like, what do you know about the power swagger? You don't have it. And he's like, he references like an 80s porn star. Like he watches this 80s porn star and he knows how to do it like him.
TT boy.
Yeah. He's like,
I'm the only person that knew that. Makes me feel weird.
I was like, how do you know that?
I know.
I told you, I read a lot. Anyway.
I thought you were a movie buff. Sorry, not to get off topic. So anyway, they start describing, you know, Casper starts explaining this whole, like, what happens and whatever. And then they start to fight.
Right.
And then what does Kenny do? He does exactly what Mama did, just square in the face.
All right, now.
We did that in unison, by the
Yeah,
way.
we did.
Okay, that was like Vita and April. Wonder Twin powers activate.
Bam.
But it's what I think is funny too is that he has a little Casper has a little bit of that Kenny powers in him
He
because
does.
he's like you don't know what I do. He's like you don't know how I roll. Let
Casper's
me
got
tell
some
you,
game.
I do it this way, that way, and like this. To the point where Kenny's like, what is that?
And that's what he said about the fur burn or
And what
something.
did he say? He's like, you're gonna cause a rug fire if you keep doing that.
But you know what? All right. He pops him in the nose. I mean, I would have been pissed. And they just go out and they're playfully wrestling. With...
No, they're fighting. And now, did you catch this? I was like, did Casper just win the
He did.
fight?
Yes.
Kenny got owned. So that could be another thing. They're these little hints, because would Kenny ever lose in a fight? Or would he let anyone in the world know that he lost a fight in the past? No.
No.
So
Absolutely not. So now he's feeling emasculated by his very weird brother.
Yeah, baby, brother. It's not like he's gonna get a minivan or something. Anyway, yeah. So it's happening. I'm telling you, he's gonna become a preacher.
Well, it's all of the different things that are kind of wearing him down.
Oh, absolutely.
I think he's just he doesn't even have, you know, he's like, whatever, get off me, you're sweaty. And
Yeah.
he's like kicking up at him. And, you know, he's just kind of, you know, you just see his sandal.
He's in his Jesus sandal.
No, and then I love it after the fight. You know, like
Yeah.
Casper's just owned him, and this is Kenny. Like,
And then Casper's kicking down at him. Like, stop it.
yeah, but Kenny still kept kicking
Yes.
after Casper walked away.
So
It's just
funny.
like I you know, like in Powers fashion, I did the last kick. all right,
Yeah.
just so you know.
He has
all
to have
right?
the last word, all that stuff.
So they wind up after having this whole thing. The family reunion continues, or the family outing. They go home. They're now playing, you know, Pictionary together,
Right.
And you know, which is really sweet. You get to see them have like this whole family bonding moment, which is when, you know, Don Johnson, Papa Eddie, gets up and he's like, ding, 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 ding. He's like, I have an announcement to make, and he makes this big, grand gesture, apology, and you know, he telling his family that he's sorry that he left 27 years ago, which I think Lily Tomlin was funny. She was like, 27 years to get a pack of cigarettes.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, and she, you know, he's now trying to act as if he's stepping it up.
Right.
And so, you know, that's when, you know, Mama Powers is like, you can sleep in the couch. The dog, sleeping outside is for the dog. sleeping inside is for the family. And then Stevie steps in. He's like, and the garage is for cars. I was like,
that's just how out of it poor Stevie is. He's just so out of his mind right now. He doesn't even know what to do.
It doesn't change, but I found something after the dinner, and we can talk about the mom, but I like the part when he was surfing the net.
yes.
And he saw that baseball is fine without him.
Yeah.
And
Well, that big thing where he was actually going to watch porn and decides not to,
Right.
and Googles his team, or looks up his team, and then is like, he sees and he kind of sighs.
Baseball
But he
is
doesn't-
his porn.
But that's the thing is like the difference between where he's going, like he was doing that and then he stops himself and he looks at what's going on in his baseball life and then, goes out to the kitchen where he finds his dad and his brother, his half brother trying to steal and bail out. Casper even has a ski mask
It
on.
wasn't even like 4 hours after dinner that they're
Yeah.
already running out the door.
Yeah.
Did you think that joke was going a little too long? I mean, I understand, Kenny gets all these opportunities to make the right choice.
Yeah.
And
Right.
this season more than ever. And he still keeps making up to now, he's been making the wrong choice, but he's starting to make the right choices. But with the dad, it's like it's one note, and I know we're going to get to the apology later, but that joke of, Don Johnson always having an ulterior motive, it started falling flat for me. That last, when they were robbing the silverware, it was funny, haha, but just for me it was hard, like.
Well,
let
it
go.
even goes through to the end because he even after his big thing at the end, he still, if he still pulled another fast one because he still can't really
Right.
change. And I think maybe that's what they're trying to show is that he still can't really change. Like he still is who he is, and he might be having this internal kind of battle going on that on one side of the coin he wants to be this way, but on the other side he can't help who he is, and he's just kind of a jerk.
So the show is teaching us acceptance.
Acceptance.
Wow.
Well, it's funny because once he admits defeat and he leaves, before Don Johnson leaves, he throws Kenny under the bus and he's like, the only reason why Kenny's here is to dump his kid on him. And now after having this whole conversation where he's about to man up and he feels like I can't let my mama down, he finally fesses up and he's like, actually, yeah, I want to take my career back. I want to play baseball, and this kid's weighing me down. He's like, I am no longer Charles in charge.
Well, he says,
Another 80s
the
reference.
quote was like, it's hard to be Charles in charge when you're not Scott Baio, which people are retweeting that quote because it's just it's a great quote because he just can't do it all. And, and he tells his mom, I don't think of it so much as kind of a permanent thing and more like a loan. I want to loan you Toby while I go figure my life out. And you can see the disappointment. And, she's just really disappointed in him for that. And that's the comparison between him and his dad and how they do have some qualities that are alike. And it's what Kenny chooses to do. Is he going to be like that, or is he going to change it and be more like his mom?
Well, then, and that's what we're saying, is he finally going to make the right choice? And I think they did. As we fast forward, okay, we're running out of time here already. They're giving us the hook. But let's go to the bowling alley. What'd you guys think?
Before they get to the bowling alley,
Okay.
Kenny Powers is now headed to Myrtle Beach. He has this whole flashback of Toby and their little experiences together, his papa moments. And now he's feeling like, you know what? I can't leave without my child. And so what does he do? He goes back to the bowling alley and he's like, that's it. I'm getting my kid. I can't do this.
And when he pulls up, his dad is there.
Right, so they both
had that epiphany of I want to be better. I want to do,
Yay,
I
they
can't
finally
be,
made the right choice.
Yeah, I
Fantastic.
can't be as crappy as I've been. I just can't do it.
So then they give this wonderful speech, and
Well, first they crawl through
yes,
the
thank
lanes
you,
of
thank
the
you.
bowling alley because you can't leave that out. That was just
They
classic.
can't
It's like-
come through the front door.
They gotta make an
No.
entrance,
They have
come
to
on.
make an entrance, so they come through the lane
All right, so they come through
and
the
interrupt the league game.
Yes, the championship series. It's the 10th frame where she has to roll 3 perfect strikes, and of course, they give her the great speech, and she 1, 2, 3 rolls the strikes. All is tied up in a bow, beautiful, wonderful, and it's kind of weird, because usually what Jody Hill and all those guys, they will tie it up in a bow, but they'll leave something off.
I'll tell you what that off thing is.
Thank you.
What it is you're seeing now in the dynamic, even though they're acting as one big happy family, you can see how the characters all are similar. So, for instance, Mama Powers wasn't doing well due to the hard, stressful circumstances, like Kenny's not doing well under the hard, stressful circumstances. So now her game is ruined as Kenny's game is ruined. So the minute that they come and they do this grand gesture apology, all of a sudden she gets her game back. So now that Kenny is starting to not fight it anymore, will Kenny get his game back like his mama just got her game back?
I think I have an idea that what will happen, but I'll save it for predictions.
Well, and I want to say too, like one of my favorite quotes that he had tonight was, "If my mom was, big enough to man it up, I'm sure big enough to, be a woman."
That's right.
And I really like that. I mean, if, I don't remember exactly how it went, but basically like that. If she was, strong enough to be a man, I'm strong enough to be a woman.
Amen.
And I love that because he just full on, this is my kid, I'm going to do it, let's do this.
Well, now he's just got to put shoes on him like Mama did.
I know. Why did he never have shoes?
That's a girl thing. I
Used to
never
bug
noticed
me.
that. I never noticed that at all.
Never
so.
had
No
shoes
shoes.
until he was with grandma, and then he finally had shoes. I was like, "Yay, he's got shoes!" Poor, I can't
Sorry.
stand to see
He had
babies
little,
with
he had
shoes.
little what do they call those, Converse?
Yeah,
Yeah, he had little Chuck
Yeah,
Taylors.
little Chuck. Love it.
Well, on that note, let's take a little bit of a break and we'll come back with a special segment, some news and gossip and predictions.
AfterBuzz TV. Hi, I was once like you, a lazy, angry loner whose only joy was watching TV and surfing the net. And like you, after I'd see one of my favorite TV shows, I'd be so excited and have so many questions that I'd actually have to talk to my douchebag coworkers about it at the water cooler. Then I discovered AfterBuzzTV.com. AfterBuzz TV produces after-show webcasts and podcasts for TV series of all kinds, like post-game wrap-up shows for all your favorite TV shows. AfterBuzz TV hosts are industry insiders who break down episodes of shows, take calls from fans, and interview cast and crew from each series, with over 60 different after-shows, from Boardwalk Empire to American Idol to Vampire Diaries to Real Housewives, and more. Now, after a night of TV, I can ignore my stupid coworkers, who I hate, and go straight to my desk and watch or listen to all my favorite AfterBuzz TV after shows, and have all the TV fan interaction I need. Thank you, AfterBuzz TV.
AfterBuzz TV. What do you want to buzz about?
All right, folks, we're doing a little something a little different this time with our special segment. We are doing, since we've only got 3 episodes left and the series is more than likely done, we're going to introduce a new feature called Kenny Powers Hall of Fame, where we're going to cut up a clip, we're going to show it to you guys, and see what you like. This is my personal all-time favorite comedy snippet of all time, right now.
And this is between all season 3.
Oh, you have to know what
Hi,
this
how
is.
are you?
What are you doing here? I thought you had a big event.
Yeah, I did. I canceled it. I'm not an ape. I'm a professional ball player. I need to be around people who understand that.
Are you okay? Because you're sweating a lot.
April, I gotta come clean, babe. There's one image in my life that consistently makes me happy no matter when I think about it. And that image, that one image is your big tits.
Oh, Kenny?
No, listen, I'm not trying to be crude with you, okay? This is real. This is me being honest with you.
You're inappropriate.
Love is inappropriate sometimes, April.
There are children present.
And what a better place for me to say my love than surrounded by little angels. This is about real emotions. This is about me loving you for real. And not in a just to make me come kind of way, in a real way. All right. If you won't listen to my words, then listen to my dancing feet.
This is it. These 2 words.
Oh, my.
Work drugs.
He said work drugs.
I do this dance.
How can you not be in love with him?
Here it comes. Yes. to hit a wall. Hitting the wall.
And then the drugs kick in.
Chest pain. And end scene. That's it.
Keeping it classy.
That's all we need.
Oh, awesome.
Keeping it absolutely classy. I mean, you see Kenny like this, and he's just, he makes an effort. He's so grandiose. He's such a showman.
I love it.
And a hot mess at the same time.
Yeah, completely.
That was my favorite clip. So now, April, you were saying.
Well, I wanted to see what your favorite clips are. So if you guys want to get interactive and show us what your favorite clips are, make sure to download us on iTunes, leave a comment, let us know. You can also view us on YouTube and make a comment and let us know the link to what your favorite clip is, and see if we play it on next week's show.
Yeah.
For sure. So there we go. Tying it all in.
Little fan interaction here.
All right, so we had a great clip. We're going to cut news and gossip, but let's go straight to predictions.
Yes.
Actually, we could do news.
Oh.
Oh, all right.
Why, thank you.
AfterBuzz TV News.
Okay, so in the news, Kenny Powers, Danny McBride is doing a couple of projects. One of them is for FX, an animated series. How cool would it? They haven't named it yet, but how cool would it be if they did like an Eastbound Down animation? It would be just hilarious.
Think about it. I think it's a continue. You had, let's say, Family Guy. Now it's going to be this, like Napoleon Dynamite. These kind of. It's going to be that adult comedy that everyone's going to flock to.
Nice, fun, dark, funny, crazy, quirky.
And on FX.
Yeah, and then he's also
perfect.
coming out with a movie called Bullies. They're filming a movie called Bullies that's going to come out in 2013, which I think is great with all these new. The one movie Bully that's coming out at the end of this month.
Now, is this the cop? Is this the cop drama? I know that Danny McBride signed to do a new cop drama, and it's all Jody Hill. It's a slapstick comedy, of course. So I don't know if it's that same one.
He's got a bunch of projects going on. So those are the two that really stuck out to me. I was like, animation, and especially with bullying big in the media right now, that he's going to go and jump on that bandwagon and really just step up for that. So.
All right. Well, excellent. So that's it for news and gossip. So let's get into predictions.
And now, your AfterBuzz TV predictions.
All right. May I start,
We
ladies?
would love for you to begin.
Yes.
Thank you, ladies.
Only if you do it in Spanish.
Exactly.
My Spanish not too good, but ahora lo que va a pasar esta semana es que Kenny Powers se va. No,
I like that you said Kenny Powders.
Yes.
that's you know who said that, right?
Yes.
Season 2.
Season 2.
Thank you, Phil.
My God.
There we go. No, I think it's kind of like Lily Tomlin. You know how Don Johnson came back? He needs April to come back. He's gonna throw those strikes. He's gonna be that closure that the Mermen need. He's gonna get that chance to go to the majors. But he's going to become a preacher, like I said. I'm telling you, because his majors are April and Toby.
Oh, I like that. I like
Getting
that.
good.
Next, please.
I think that he's going to be a little bit more of a dad. I think we're going to see a little bit more of that. You know, I think that that's going to kind of, I want to see more one-on-one action with him and Toby. Like we saw, you know, the flashbacks of his times that he spent with him. I think now he's going to appreciate that a little bit more. And I'm hoping that we get to see a little bit more of that.
I think that he's still going to fight it for a little bit. He's still going to fight it. He's still going to try and pawn off the kid. I mean, he has Stevie, the nanny, to deal with Toby, which I think is so funny. Stevie, the nanny, and Casper, the chef. And I think that eventually, you know, he said, he's like, I'm going to take my baby back until April comes back. And I think once April comes back, because in that little flashback montage, he had a flash of him and her with the baby. And what does he do? He goes at the end of the episode and he puts the shirt on
Right.
with that they had done the day that she had left. So I think April, when she finally does come back, and girl, I hope you come back, he's gonna man up and share the responsibility. And I think there's gonna be a little yumminess that goes on. But so we do see the not so him fall. So we continue to see him fall on his face. I think his career is done.
Okay, so more questions and answers. We've only got 2 episodes left, so with that said, April, where can they find you?
You can tweet me at Kellie with an IE 079.
And Miriam.
You can find me at Miriam L. Gonzalez on Twitter.
And you can find me at The Everyday Man, and you can find us at AfterBuzz TV. Till next time, you're effing out.
From Bing.com, executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.